Good afternoon, Babugela Makaya Sanbingelela Namhlanje. Today I come as one, but I stand for 10,000 women out there. Today I come as one, but I stand as 10,000 women who have been killed. Today I come as one, but I stand for 10,000 women who have been sexually abused. Today I come as one, but I stand for 10,000 women who were sexually harassed. Today I come as one, but I stand for Ukarabo. Today I come as one, but I stand for Tsakofate. Today I come as one, but I stand for Untandla. I stand for every woman that have been abused. Babugele Makaya, welcome to this show, an exclusive show on gender-based violence. I am Sibongile Mbata, your co-host for today. And today, ngihambi ngedwa, ngihamba no Sisi.
Wow, that was beautiful, a beautiful opening. Sanbonani, Babugeli, Emakaya, siyabonga. Siyabonga ukuthi nihlanganyele nathi kulo lo hlelo lelu. You know, as Usibongile mentioned, it's an exclusive show. Good This Women's Month, we decided, you know what, we're gonna hold it by its horns, and sizokhuluma ngayo namhlanje gender-based violence. It is something that affects us all, whether you're a woman or not. Sonke, we are affected by this.
Yes.
Kodwa ke asihambi sodwa. We have a panel here that is here to teach you more about gender-based violence. We have doctors, we have attorneys, we have the SAPS, we've got NGOs, and most importantly, we've got gender-based violence survivors that will tell us more about their stories and what they went through and how they overcome. We would like to first welcome guest yokuqala. Please, Sibongile.
Okay, Babugele Makaya, today we have a beautiful, the queen, siyasonke ukuthi inyanga abantu besifazane. We've got the queen here, Dr. Lisego Morapi. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to read the bio. She is 26 years of age, born and raised in Pretoria, currently based in Johannesburg South, works as a medical intern at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. She's passionate about raising health awareness and giving back to the community. Welcome, doctor.
Welcome, Doc. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ube kanye nathi namhlanje. And also, Ababugeli Amakaya Bamangele, and you're gonna have to forgive me because I'm not going to read his bio. Simply because it is packed, and it is packed.
Yes.
And because he is here, he will tell us exactly who he is, what he does, where he has been. Trust me, Babugeli Amakaya, you will be impressed. We have none other than Attorney Stanley Hadebe. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
And as you heard me mention, I'm not going to read your bio because
It is packed.
It is packed.
Oh, God.
It is packed. And he will unpack it for us.
Yes,
Please.
unpack it.
You know,
unpack it, please.
it's better sometimes into my pumago
Umnikazi
Yeah,
wayo.
in my pumago
Yes.
So please, and don't sell yourself short. As much as I was impressed, please impress everyone out there.
Thank you, madam. My name is Stanley. I am a practicing attorney. I have been in the practicing field for almost 8 years in practice. I still, when people always ask me where to start,
Yeah.
it's always difficult because I always wanted to study medicine.
Oh,
really?
okay.
So
Doc.
today I'm privileged to be among
With the doctors.
the doctors themselves. So I can rub shoulders with the doctors today.
Of course.
I remember many years ago, as you can see, I'm quite old.
Oh, really?
We don't see that.
I was born in a small village called Hamasemola in Limpopo. And later I moved to Mpumalanga in a place called Denelton. Did my primary and eventually completed my grade 12. And I still remember during my matric, how much I wanted to study medicine, and I was like, I'm going to Medunsa, and that is where I was seeing myself. When I was in my matric, my dad passed on,
So sorry to hear.
and there were just complications about
can
in the family, and being the only son among the girls, I was supposed to be the big brother and the big elderly brother and the son to my mother, and make sure things run smoothly during the funeral proceedings. And because of what I think it happens in most of Bantu culture, the conflicts during the funeral arrangements, I saw it fit for me to study law.
Okay.
Whoa.
So that's where it was birthed.
Yes, I was like, no, there's no way my mom, being a woman, having to go by herself and having to face the in-laws in the state that she was in, having to mourn her husband and being attacked from the family members. Then is when I decided that year that I'm going to study law, and that
you
I
can
can defend.
Yay.
In Bogota.
Of course.
And from that day, I ended. I still remember when I got to the university, I had not applied because my mind was in medical school. I walked into a nice building at the university, and a lady approached me, and obviously I was a first year, had a brown envelope with my statements inside, and she was like, "Oh, are you here to study law, LLB?" And I was like, "Yes." And I didn't even know what LLB meant at that time. 4 years later, did completed my LLB, went through with my board exam, served my articles, studied further, and now I am a practicing attorney, and I mostly have a passionate in matrimonial and matrimonial law, which I see a lot of family matters, disputes, and that is what I'm doing currently.
Wow. And please quickly share the people that you've worked with, that you know, cases that you've been on before. Yes,
Maybe you've got big cases, eh?
definitely.
No. I have. You putting me on the spot like this. I've worked with your famous advocate Gerinal. I've done most cases, which other I cannot disclose.
Yes.
But it has been a great journey, and I've been enjoying my field.
Wow. Wow. That was powerful.
You're
you.
impressed, right?
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm rubbing shoulders with the big guns here. The big guns here.
Thank you.
Okay, Zinhle, as I was driving here, as you know that tomorrow we're celebrating Women's Day.
Yeah.
It hurt me, Guti, today, on the eve of the Women's Day, we're discussing such issues instead of us celebrating the women who marched
Actually.
in 1956, the women who stood up in 1956. But we're going to fight the system. We're going to fight what they were petitioning against the past law. But here we are, in fear. Here we are. We've got this shell. I don't know about, but I know with us women, mina ngiyasaba even to drive at night right now. The way this gender-based violence, my numbers are rising a corner. So I don't know, hey. So for me, it pains me as a woman to sit here instead of Guti, I'm looking forward to celebrate Women's Day. It's a big thing. We're celebrating we women now, we are free, but we're fighting this.
Still fighting
We're
the
still
same
fighting.
battles. Still fighting the same battles. 26 years later, since the first democratic elections in Mzansi.
And we're still
Still fighting this.
And as you all know that, but 1 in 3 women is being abused. 1 in 3. That, you know, that rate is
That
bad.
means, good the 3 of us here, 1 of us.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It is bad, and ladies, you're perfectly correct to say it's been 26 years, and the battles, the struggles of our mothers, of Abu Mama, Lillian Ngoyi, Abu Helen
Helen
Joseph,
Joseph.
is, and to mention few, it is still going even today.
It is still ongoing. Shockingly as well is that every 3 hours a woman is murdered.
Every 3 hours.
Every 3 hours a woman is murdered.
So in that case, in 24 hours, how many women are being murdered?
I do the math. I do the math. Yeah? Like, you know, it's such it's an epidemic, Doc. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's an epidemic in South Africa, gender-based violence.
Exactly, and we see it often in hospitals. I would see about 2 to 3 cases a day, but even then it's difficult to quantify because there's still a lot of shame around gender-based violence, but shame on the victims themselves. So it's not a lot of people that disclose even on the first consultation that some of them come into the hospital with a broken arm, but they may not disclose that I have a broken arm because I was running away from my husband who has been hitting me. Or I have a scar here, but actually I was not being robbed. I was stabbed by a loved one. So there's a lot of women that are that are experiencing gender-based violence by people that they know.
By people that they know, by people that they love. And just one more thing before we actually dive into this. You know, statistics say that South Africa, our country, is one of the most dangerous countries
In the
for
world.
women worldwide. It is one of the most dangerous countries
It is so
for
sad.
women worldwide. And Sikhalala,
It is sad, hey? I feel ukuthi in my country, it is easier to get raped than getting a job.
definitely.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. You are right, Doc. Women are scared. Women are frustrated. Women are scared to drive.
I am scared
Women
to
are,
drive at night.
are scared to walk, whether during the day or night, it does not matter.
Yeah,
Women are scared to have lift clubs to work.
definitely.
Like our country has made it so difficult for women to be free. And as Doc, as you correctly cited out, at times it's so difficult for one to disclose as what is happening to themselves. We see this in the legal vicinity. You see cases being opened and later being withdrawn. And you ask yourself,
How?
how? It's
I'm
really
glad
sad.
you are here from the justice, I'll say from the justice side, because in my own opinion, Zinhle, I feel ukuthi our justice system is weak.
It's failing us.
It's failing us as women. Okay, yes, there are men who are being abused, but the majority is us women. And I feel ukuthi the justice system it's weak. Yeah.
And we're going to dive into that shortly. And already, hey, Babugeli Emakaya, already go heated. And trust me, you do not want to leave your seat. Instead, you want to text everyone. You want to call them, say corner, the GBV
Share.
show, say corner, Yazini, tune in, get some popcorn, get some tissue, woo, get some tissues, get some water, and tune
they
in.
must
It's
please
going to be
share,
amazing.
Share our Facebook page, the GNF Ministry page. Please, guys, share. This is a very serious matter. It's not only affecting a victim, it's affecting everyone because it's an economic, factor for me because it touches everyone. So this is very important, guys. Please share. Just share.
Just share.
Yes.
Share, and share. Yes, please, let us get into it.
Okay. I just want to ask you, from the justice side, what is gender-based? If you can just define for umuntu osekhaya ufuna ukwazi ukuthi okay bakhuluma nge-gender-based kahle kahle is it ukuthi bangishayile kwenzakaleni, can you please just tell us?
It is the violence of women's rights.
Okay.
And the gender-based violence comes in many forms. And as you indicated earlier on, from 1956, the women of 1956 had challenged about the past laws, and the apartheid system had to restrict the past laws even more on women and restrict their movements. So now we've moved from that system, or maybe we're in another phase where women are being subjected to gender-based, based on their gender, based on their skin color, based on their career, and even education.
Yes.
So it is affecting every woman.
So it's affecting every woman. So what types of gender-based do we have?
We have sexual abuse. We'll have rape. We will have domestic violence, which commonly is happening in our country, in our households, between loving partners.
Okay.
We will have violence because you're a woman, you are being deprived of education. And we are seeing that because you're a woman, you cannot go and study, you must be in the house. So it is happening in our household, it's happening in our workspace, it is happening in our schools, it is happening everywhere. And the purpose is to deprive women of their rights.
So as I was just checking from the justice, I saw indirect violence. Can you please just elaborate for me? Because I can see the sexual, the domestic. I'm sure Emakai, they understand that when we say it's an indirect violence, because maybe by an abuser, but agazi, because I mention her as a harassment, I mention her as a domestic, I mention her as a sexual.
It can also come in an emotional form where you cannot show the scars, you cannot show the bruises, but it can also, gender-based violence come emotionally so. And you can be made or to believe less of yourself as a woman.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or it can be indirectly so by one having to make your friends, your family around you to look at you as a failure, to say you're a woman, you cannot be able to do 1, 2, 3. It can be also in an emotional form.
So we're correct to say that, GBV has many faces.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So how is it punishable?
Of course, the victims, they need to come out. And we've got so many centers where the victims can report gender-based violence. The community also, because the gender-based violence mostly is directed to women and our girls. You might be a neighbor and you're seeing that the minor child next door is being, her rights are being violated. You have the right, you have the responsibility to raise your voice out.
So this is everyone's responsibility.
Absolutely. Now we are sitting here and we are looking at it from what the country is facing as the gender-based violence. But before the country would face it, it has to start somewhere. Clearly started somewhere. It started in our schools, it started in our neighbors, it started in our households. So it affects everyone, and everyone has got a right. And I think it's important for me to indicate that violence of any person's rights, it cannot be tolerated.
It's wrong. It's totally,
It's completely, totally wrong.
totally wrong. Okay, Sinclair, I'll leave you
Yeah.
From the other one.
Babugeli Amakaya, let us take I just want us to take a break. It's just a 2-minute song,
Okay.
3-minute song, that I would like us to play to just raise more awareness. Mhlambe usalahlekile, mhlambe we need, we want you guys to see and hear exactly what siguphi sikhuluma ngani. But before we get there, Doc, I need you to please now take us through each and every single step from one being assaulted. Let's first talk about let's not go into sexual assault or woman. Okay. We'll deal with that later. Here is this woman. She has been beaten up. What do you do before? Just tell us. Okay, for example, I've just been beaten up. God forbid. What do I do?
Okay. So I think it's important to reiterate that you need to, at that moment, recognize that this is not your fault.
All right.
So you need to recognize that this is not your fault and it is wrong. There's nothing that you can ever do to justify anybody harming you physically, emotionally. And the first thing to do is, I think, you need to get yourself to the police station.
Okay.
And it's important to not change your clothing, to not change, go immediately as you are as the incident has happened.
All right.
Because it's important for us to get evidence of the violent act.
Okay.
From not just your history taking, but also from your clothing. And you start with the police station because you need to open a case, and then you get a case number, and then you get a form called the J88 form.
Okay.
So that you take that form to the health facility.
Okay.
And you can go to any public health facility for free at any time, as long as it's open. But you can get help at any health facility in South Africa. So what we do when you get there is you will then have your consultation for, this is now for just physical abuse.
Yes.
You will do 3 things now. You will get history from you, and then we also get evidence, collect evidence, and then we treat you.
All right.
So we get history taking. We take the history from you as it is, word for word. We get your history about the incident, how it happened, what time it happened, who was around. And if you are unable to speak, it's okay to have somebody that is with you to give the history on your behalf. And we also note where we got the history from. Is it from you telling us how the incident happened? Is it from an escort? And why is an escort speaking? Are you unconscious? Is it because you are so frightened that you're unable to speak? So we take note of every single thing as you come. And then we also examine you. We examine your whole body. So when you go to these facilities, we're very careful to make sure that you are comfortable. So even when you examine your body, we make sure that we need to remove your clothes. Unfortunately, it can be very invasive. It can be uncomfortable. But because we have to see every single injury on your body. So we take off your clothes, but then we, number one, get consent. Because even though this is necessary procedure, it can only be done with your consent. If you are comfortable, then we need to get permission from you. And if you are not comfortable with a male doctor, perhaps it's a male doctor that's on duty that day, you can request for a female doctor to be the one to examine you. But what also normally happens is that the female nurse will also be present. We would have a female nurse be present for, especially when we remove your clothes, to examine your body. But then we examine your whole body. We take note of every single injury, a little scratch, a little bruise, any bleeding. We note where any bleeding is coming from. And we also take note of any scars, so any old injuries as well. We take note of them, we examine, and then we indicate in the form, in the J88. We actually even draw on top in your file and also on the J88 form. So we draw exactly where the injury is. We even measure approximately that it's a 3 centimeter little cut on the forehead, it's a 4 centimeter cut on the abdomen. We really meticulous in noting all your injuries. And that is also important, for example, if there's scars on your body, because normally with gender-based violence, by the time you come to the hospital or the clinic, this is not the first incident. So that would also help to build up your case to prove that there has been recurrent, attacks.
Okay.
And then we examine your whole body, and then we take note, and then we treat the injuries as necessary, depending on how severe they are.
Okay. And then what happens to the J88 form? The patient, do they take it back to the police
So
station?
yes,
or-
the patient takes it back to the police station, and then that was used to build up their case against the perpetrator.
All right. And now, can you please then take us through in the case of sexual assault, rape in particular?
So in the case of rape, it's even more important to not change your clothes. So if a
Okay.
rape has occurred, especially if there was penetration, it's important to not take a bath, do not even wipe, preferably, and that you might have to fight the urge to do that because from what I heard, you might feel, dirty, that you need to just clean yourself off
And
of,
scrub
just
everything
scrub your
off.
whole body because it might leave you feeling very dirty. But then you need to resist the urge to do that and not take a bath because then you're removing the evidence that they need to build up a case against the perpetrator,
Yeah.
the rapist. So you need to get to first the police station to get the J88 form and open a case, and then get yourself to a hospital or a clinic.
Okay.
So sexual based violence is different in that it's not every clinic that will be able to take evidence from you.
Okay.
There's specific rape centers, but you can go to any clinic and you'll be referred.
Okay.
So if that specific clinic does not have that rape center, then they will refer you. And normally these clinics have hospital transport. So
Okay.
there might be a car on the clinic that will then be able to transport you to that center. So we take them very seriously, and we try to make sure that we get the victims the help that they need.
All right.
And one of them in Johannesburg is the Ntabiseng Clinic in Krisani Baragwanath Hospital. And then there's one in Lenasia South, there's one in Stratford Clinic, and there's one in Hillbrow.
Okay.
But you don't need to remember where they are. You get to any clinic that's available, that's close to you, and they will refer you
they'll
to the
refer you.
appropriate centers.
Okay. And then, Doc, please just give us a picture of how then the consultation would go about. What should one expect? What will be done? You say evidence will be taken. Are you just talking about the clothing? Is there anything more, anything invasive, anything one needs to be prepared for?
So what will happen if you have been raped and you go to one of these rape centers? It also starts with, first of all, your history taking.
Okay.
So we start with noting down what you say happened, word for word, as part of your history. Or if your escort is the one that is going to give us the history, then we note.
All right.
And then when it comes to the examination part, again, with consent, we will ask you if you give us permission, and then you will go into a separate room. We'll make sure that it's private and only have the people that are comfortable with having in the room.
Okay.
And also a female nurse that will be available. Usually it's a female nurse
Okay.
that is available as well, just to make sure that you're a bit more comfortable and you don't feel threatened. And then we remove your clothing. We take note of your clothing. If there's any tears of your clothing, if there's buttons missing, we also take note of that. If there's blood stained on your pants, on your shirts, we also take note. And then also if there's stains that look like it might be semen, we also take note on your clothes. If there's mud or soil, if there's what we call tram track lines, it's like tire lines. If perhaps you've been run over a car, then we take note of all of those and we note it in the book. And then if clothing have stains, we also remove the clothing, and then we take them in also for evidence.
Okay.
And then in terms of taking swabs as well to collect DNA, we collect DNA on your body as well as on your clothing.
Okay.
So on your body, we may take it inside the vagina or the anus in the male or female, because males also have been victims of sexual violence. So then we take a swab, it's like a cotton bud that we move around the vagina or the anus, and then that collects the fluids, and hopefully it'll take also the sperm of the perpetrator. Then we send it for evidence, and then any fluids or anything that looks like there's a fluid on the clothing, we also swab
Okay.
or take the whole piece of clothing in for evidence. and yeah, that's how we collect the DNA of the perpetrator.
And then is there any further management? Okay, so we've done the examination, we're done. Then what?
So the third thing we do as well then is to treat you.
Okay.
So with sexual violence now, we need to prevent HIV infection as well as pregnancy. So
Okay.
there's medication that we can give to prevent the two. So with HIV, the important thing is we don't know what this HIV status of this perpetrator is. So we treat it
Exactly.
as though this person was positive.
Okay.
So it's a high risk situation, and then there's medication we give. It's called post exposure prophylaxis. It's ARVs, but it's a different type of ARVs that we give to prevent infection in somebody that has been exposed to HIV. So we treat it as though you have been exposed, and then we give you medication to prevent the infection. And this medication is taken for about 28 days.
All right.
So when you arrive, we test you for HIV. We also test for pregnancy, just to have it noted that at the time of the incident, this was your status. This was your HIV status. This was your pregnancy status. And then what we also can do in terms of testing, in cases of suspected drug facilitated sexual abuse where your drink was spiked, you were given a drug,
Yeah.
we also can take blood or urine to test for, because there's specific drugs that that are normally in the market for that that are used to date rape. So we can also take blood to test for those, blood or urine to test for those drugs. And then we give also medication to prevent pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy.
I was about to ask that.
And yeah, it's emergency contraception. You take one pill, it's a once-off pill, and you need to take it before 72 hours. So preferably if you're a victim of sexual abuse, whether or not you have decided whether you want to press charges or you have the courage to press charges, I really recommend that everybody goes immediately within hopefully 48 hours. Go to the clinic, have that done, and then have the evidence taken, so that even 2 years later or however years later or months later, hopefully not for too long, you decide, now I'm ready to go and press charges. At least the evidence
All
has
the
been
evidence is
submitted
there.
and everything is done. Your health has been taken care of, because it can be really, you can be dealing with a lot of emotions at that time. So you might not even be thinking about HIV, you might not be thinking about pregnancy, the possibility of being pregnant. But if you could just immediately take care of that, and then, or come to us for us to take care of that for you, and then after that, then you can deal with whether or not you want to press charges. And then from then on, what we do is follow-ups. We offer social services and counseling, because we know that the ramifications of having that kind of trauma, they possibly don't even happen immediately. Most victims don't even report until much later, and they only tell a family friend or a friend, and hardly ever come seek advice from the law side or the medical side. So it's really important for us to take care of ourselves when that happens.
Thank you very much, Dr. Babukele Makhaya Nizizwele Nani. It was a mouthful, it was packed. And basically what the doctor is saying is, uma sekwenzekile ungahlali ekhaya. Justice side does what it does, but also on the health side, a lot can be done. We can prevent HIV if you weren't negative. We can prevent pregnancy. There is so much that can be done. Do not sit at home. Please, please, please go out there and seek for help, because there are actually structures that have been erected for such.
I like Dr. what she said, ukuthi ungahlali. Hamba usanesikhathi.
Yeah.
Because ngoba shothi maybe uzothola ngaleso sikhathi usanokusaba ukuthi I need to go press charges, but immediately if when uhamba uyaka doctor, there is that evidence ezokback up and for because it's different structures here. We've got Department of Justice, we've got South African Police Services. So your evidence will help each department to back up your case. Wow. Okay. Are we going to the break?
Yes. We are going to the break, but before we just need ukuthi sivalelise uDokotela and to thank her for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for taking your
Happy
time.
Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.
Siyabonga kakhulu, you know that leso sikhathi esincane that you gave to us will change many lives out there. You know, sometimes we take such things for granted and we think, man, but they know. You know, like, man, come on, who doesn't know in our day and age? And you'll find a lot don't. And so for you to come and to really, like, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like she really just unpacked it, and it is crystal clear. And one now knows, Uguti, I do not start kudokotela. I must first go get that J88 form, because I know of cases where people go straight to the health facility only to be turned away because they don't have a case number, because they don't.
Within that time, you can change your
And then
mind.
you're just like,
I
you
am
know
not
what?
gonna go there.
Let me just, and you gain so much courage initially to get there, only ukuthi mawufika bathi go.
And then we're discouraged, and we're like, why really?
So thank you so much, Doc. Happy Women's Day
Happy
again.
Women's Day, Queen.
Siyabonga.
Mbogoto. Yay!
So now we still have our attorney here. You know, we're going to dissect this topic.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to rip it apart, and we're getting to another exciting part of the show, where we're getting our victims.
Yes.
No, let's not. They're not victims.
Okay, no, yeah.
They are survivors.
Survivors.
They are GBV survivors. And they will tell us their stories. They will tell us what they went through. And we will ask you, Stan, Uguti, from your side, what could they have done better? Just little things that umuntu mungazi. Unfortunately, we perish because of lack of knowledge. But once now it's easier to look out for something oyaziyo as opposed to
Something that you
mongazi
don't
hours.
know. Yeah.
Exactly. So, Babugeli and Makaya, we're going to take a break.
Yes.
We're going to take a break. Please enjoy this next clip, and we will be back with more. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Show. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've gained something from a doctor and from our attorney here. And now we are joined by the survivor,
Mbogoto.
Mbogoto,
Hey.
the Rock.
Yes.
You know, it's emotional when it comes to the women issues, because I am a woman. And I believe ukuthi abantu besifazane have got so much power. I believe ukuthi abantu besifazane, there's so much within us, and I feel so hurt if silimala. I feel so hurt if singakhona ukuvoice out whatever that we're feeling. Welcome, Bogoto, on the show, and thank you so much for coming. You can just introduce yourself.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu uphola Mahlaba Mukhethi futhi ngiyabonga ukuba la
Siyabonga.
ukuthi ngizothi qina
Stand. Mbogoto, qina.
Qina Mbogoto.
Ngiyahambeka noma
Qina but
sekwenzeke
uqine
kanje.
ukhuluma. Ungathuli.
I must say that's commendable.
Yeah.
It's commendable ukuthi there are actually women out there that are outspoken about this, because it happens to a lot. But abakhona ukukhuluma. So for you to actually, come here in this platform and ukhulume, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ngiyabonga nami ukuba la.
And we can't wait to hear what you have to say. Please let us not even waste your time. Singamoshi isikhathi asingene endabeni.
Okay,
Can you
singene
just share
endabeni.
with us You were raped.
I was raped, yes. I was raped not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 10 times, not 20 times, but multiple times. And it went to a point where I was gang raped again. And being gang raped, I felt that day, ukuthi you know when your heart, when you draw a broken heart, you draw 2 pieces. But mine, it was
Oh my, shattered.
Yo.
today. Yo.
many pieces. And it's hard ukuthi uye uyidobe inhliziyo yakho, bring it back. It's very hard. Meaning that what my point is, rape iya damage. It damages you, the way you behave, the way you look at things around you and people, especially when the perpetrators are men. The innocent eye of looking at a man is not there. So yeah, I was raped many times, abused, ngingashaywa, ngingagwazwa, being stabbed, ended up in hospital, ended up using a wheelchair. And but I'm glad that I'm here now and talking about it. You know, amanye ama abuse maybe kushaya la. Sometimes I think it's easy ukuthi bangishayela, but rape, it's you feel ashamed, you feel dirty to talk about it. Because you can't even point. You can't even point at that
Kubuhlungu
part.
kahle kahle.
Yes. So it has been a long journey of me coming out as well. Ukuthi I've been because it's not an easy subject to talk about. You find a man, othi ngifuna ukukushada, you must explain to this man where you come from as well. And you are scared sometimes ukuthi if ngithi ngiphuma la, is this man going to marry me? Uzongibuka kanjani? And the other thing is you get married, you stay in this marriage, and this husband becomes a victim. Because now uphila nomuntu ohambe
Uhamba
ebhek.
nale stigma lesi.
Exactly, and then the other thing, umbheka ngelinye ilihlo, ukuthi, I wonder, Megelele nam, what is it that he is thinking?
That's
see?
deep.
Yeah.
You see, because now he knows, ucabanga ini. You see, so, and nama nightmares, I am affected. Those traumas. My husband, 2 years ago, he had to grab me from running and going through the window.
So
At
you
night.
had a nightmare at that
I had a
time.
nightmare at that time. I had a nightmare because of that gang rape that happened to me. So I would dream the very same guys. And let me tell you, I was raped 30-odd years ago. But 2 years back, I was still living the trauma. So 2 years back, my husband grabbed me because I wanted to run, because I was dreaming ukuthi ngiphupha ngathi labantu bayangigijimisa bafuna ukungirape futhi, and I wanted to run. So umbhede uceleni kwe-window, so I wanted to. So my husband just grabbed me, and I was screaming and crying, and so he had to say, baby, you are just dreaming.
You see, now he's also a victim.
That's what I'm saying. Ukuthi he becomes a victim because manje funeka gade lo muntu ukuthi makavuka lo muntu uyophuza amanzi nje or lo muntu lo uyabaleka. Yabona? So I mean, as I said before, ukuthi the way you dress up again. I used to wear 3 underwears, 3 bras, and a tight swimming costume yabona le bambayo.
Was that as a ukuthi in case yes in case kwenzeka this thing
Yes.
kungabi so
Kungabi
easy
so
ukuthi-
easy.
so uyabona ukuthi im affect her mentally now because kuyena ucabanga engathi it was my fault ukuthi bengikade ngigqoke kanje
Yes.
mhlambe bekumele ngabe ngigqoke a long dress bekumele ngabe ngigqoke maybe jazi so yeah
Yes.
Hectic.
So the way you dress again, you are trying to protect yourself in everything that you do. Whatever you do, you are thinking, am I protected? You go to the shop, not to go to ama high heels, being our tand. Being ama high heels. And I will go and look for boni catalog. I like this one. You go to the shop, nifage. But I'll think, but what if somebody is
njaha la zomele ngizogijima njani
ngizogijima njani? So I'll just umuhle sicathulo kodwa
not for me
not for me. I'll have to protect myself.
I will just have to go in quickly just ukuthi ngikhumbuza ababukeli emakhaya as we are continuing to talk, please interact with us. Our lines are open. Siyacela ukuthi nifoneni, talk to our survivors, talk to the attorney, ask your medical questions. We are here and we will talk through it all. The number to call is 012-0230-559, and I will repeat that number, 012-123-0559. While sisalindile ukuthi niqhumane nathi, we will continue. And wow, mom, ngisho abantu abaningi lapha, we want to know, look at you now.
Yeah.
I am not seeing a woman or a lady or a girl that was raped 30 years ago. Instead, I'm seeing this fierce figure. How did you get here? What happened to her? Who is this?
Sure. It's a sort of a difficult question because ngasho ngithi it's a long journey. You walk a long journey. I had to want to find myself and I had to want to live
Wow.
a normal life.
That is powerful.
Yeah,
You
so
wanted it.
I wanted
you
it.
want it. Oof,
Yes.
That is powerful.
I wanted to say I want to live a normal life and I want myself back. So I remember one time I said to myself, you know what, I will never allow anyone to dance on my head ever again. But I didn't know where to start. But the thing was, I will start by loving myself enough to be selfish about me. And from there, I started reading a lot. Ukuthi, how does a normal woman behaves like?
because I remember when we had a chat on the previous show that we had
Yes.
uthe umama she was abused, she was raped in such a way that kuyena that was normal bese kunormal ukuthi ahamba ayoreporta or akhulume nomunye umuntu ukuthi phela kwenzekala kanje ubese phila that leyo mpilo ukuthi ilife yami kanje, this is me, I've accepted ukuthi ngilo muntu njalo ozohlala njalo ahlukumezeka. So I like mayithi now I had to find ukuthi umuntu onormal uphila kanjani.
Yes. Yes.
And we have a caller. Can we please take a caller?
Okay? I'll definitely take a call.
All right. I think we missed it.
Did I miss it?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll get back to it. Ask Gagakhohlwa ngawe Bugeli Amakaya. We will be taking your call. Please, call again. Please, Stan. You deal with these things every day. You see them on a daily basis. Do you ever get to see your clients, shall I call them clients, get to recovery phase?
Can I answer?
Oh yes, please, let's take the call.
You live on GNF TV. Hello.
Hello, is that Esther's?
Yes, Mama Unshani.
Ngiyaphila sithando sami, ngiyaphila. Ngiyanibulisa nonke lapho e-studio, Bipolar and all people there.
Siyabonga, Mama.
Ma.
Yo, your show is doing something in my life. And actually, ingathi nami bengilapho kulezo futhi kulempilo kaSisi lebekayisho starting from grandmother. I'm telling you what she's saying iyenzekile nakimi. So angeke ngisho ukuthi manje what is going on angazi but then it's kusho ukuthi kuyajabulisa ngingasho ukuthi kuyajabulisa but it's too bad to be true. And mara nami bengikhona if ever I was bengekho kwi-situation efana nayo sisilo bengeke ngibelieve ukuthi into enjalo ikhona.
Ngiyathanda
nakimi yenzeka ngaze ngalala engadini uyabona lento evala utshani ekuseni ngeza ngayo mina ekuseni
Nkosi yami.
uyabona kungamanzi wami yeah you know mara uNkulunkulu ke siyambonga angazi ukuthi ngithini sibonga nje uNkulunkulu ukuthi uyasipholisa and even the name anayo sisuma Mahlaba uthola so siyambonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi umpholisile I support.
Amen.
Siyabonga mama kakhulu for ukufona in. It helps ukuthi uzwe omunye umuntu mayikhuluma because you like how kanti kuyakenzeka nakwabanye yabona. So
And then you see them recover. And then uyabona ukuthi oh but you can recover. It's possible
It
to
is.
recover.
It is.
Encouraging us yabona makafika lapho le ndawo ukuthi umama onormal u-acta kanjani.
yes.
Even now nami ngikuleyo situation ukuthi I don't know ukuthi a normal person acta kanjani. Sometimes ngibona ngathi no I'm not acting right uyabona angazi ukuthi ngilini uyazi lento yenzeke nini 7 years and now I am turning 59.
But you're still going through.
nakhula nayo leyo nto leyo uyayibona into enjalo.
Wow.
Worst scenario sithi yo hayi angazi ukuthi ngathini manje but then siyambonga uNkulunkulu you know I don't know what to say I don't have words but siyambonga uNkulunkulu and I'm hoping ungathi amantombazana wethu angaduvi lathini sizinje khona.
Yeah.
That's my hope, that's my prayer and that's my dream.
And that is why it is important ukuthi sikhulume ngayo. Siyabonga kakhulu
Siyabonga
mama.
mama for calling in. Siyabonga uNkulunkulu aqinise. I know it happened long time ago but the fact that uyakhona ukukhuluma ngayo you helping someone. I mean I believe ukuthi as we're sitting here sharing whatever that we're sharing someone is getting help.
Yes.
So mama
Share lento empilweni yami. People get you like umuntu akekho normal it's like when isezini lakho uyi-one because izinto ezinje azenzekeli abanye abantu or maybe they don't even talk about it uyayibona into enjalo yo angazi ukuthi ngathini but then siyambonga uNkulunkulu thank you for the show. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much ma for calling in. Uqine nje uNkulunkulu wethu ukhona uNkulunkulu wethu akahluleki uNkulunkulu wethu ukhona he is God our healer. Uzosihila at the end. Siyabonga kakhulu mama.
Okay mama okay. Bye
Bye mama.
Okay, bye-bye.
Siyakuthanda nathi
Siyabonga.
kakhulu.
Okay.
Happy Women's Day.
Okay ma'am.
That was touching. Please. Wow.
I like the fact uthi isitori sakhe sicishe sifane exactly nesami.
Yes.
See ukuthi ngokukhuluma kwakho you've helped someone.
Yebo. And ngithanda nokuthi yes, I'm bringing that point ukuthi for the first time khona ekhuluma yabo. So masithulile kaningi asincedi bani uthi and akusindaba yokufihla indaba yokuthi
The courage.
firstly abantu ngeke bangibelieve because it's somehow abnormal ngeke bangibelieve and then secondly bazongibuka ngelihlo elinjani yabona bazongibukela phansi you understand so but I think women we must talk we must talk but above all encourage each other.
Yes.
Encourage each other ukuthi even if it happens to you kuyaphileka after. There is life after rape. There is life after whatever you went through. Mina as nguphola manje, I can say ukuthi I'm enjoying my life. I went through that, and sometimes it comes when I see children or I hear ukuthi a child has been raped, a woman has been raped, a woman has been murdered. I you know, my mind goes back. But I thank God ukuthi today I think I'm living a normal life, a happy life. I've got kids. I managed to have 3 boys. My firstborn is 27.
Wow.
He's working, he's independent. I managed to raise normal children. My second born is graduating this year as a psychologist. He's 21. And my third born is only at first grade.
Wow.
So and we are living a happy life, a normal life. What I'm saying is talk and help others as well. Helping others helps you to heal.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for joining us.
Siyabonga
Siyabonga,
kakhulu.
Mama
Yo,
Yeah,
a lot of people are getting healed. A lot of people are also getting courage to actually stand up, speak up, and actually do something about it. And a lot of people, bayabona through you, ukuthi, oh, actually there is life after
There is
abuse.
life,
There is life after being raped. You know, there is life. And siyabonga kakhulu. I think we can, right now, we just want to say thank you for your time. And we would like to hear from our next survivor. And while we're on that, Mrs. Habuzala, Guye U Stanley, ukuthi, do you, in your practice, do you see these clients that have actually recovered?
Yes, I have seen many clients who have recovered,
Okay.
and it's sad, and it's a long process.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important to indicate that some of our girls, some of our women, some of our mothers, they don't want to go through that process because that process can be long. But justice will come at the end of the road.
I need to ask you. You said long. You know, it's like one saying soon. Soon can be tomorrow. Soon can be 10 years from now. Like, bona, soon can be decades from now. So, mauti long, please give us a picture. I know it's not something that you can really quantify, but give us an idea. Uguti, masiti long, exactly skulumangan.
There've been cases where they can only be concluded 2 to 3 years later after
2
the
to 3 years.
actual incident.
Imagine.
And I think most people, most women, most of our girls, they give up on the process.
Because you feel ukuthi the system is failing you.
The system is failing.
I mean, 3 years.
That's long.
You're like,
Yes.
I don't want to remember this. I want to forget about it.
Because obviously,
Yes,
if it was a
yes.
local hamba, the court cases, you local remember, as I said earlier on, I feel the justice system of this country is weak. And I still stand on that. I'm sorry, Minister, but this is how I feel.
I don't think so. I think the Department of Justice with our South African police services, our ministers, they need to come and introduce a system where the system specifically does take care of gender-based violence, and that system is to speed up the process. Course, you will find out as the doctor has previously indicated, you report the case, and the case, before it gets to court, there's so many channels that it had to go through. The medical side, the South African police side. By the time it gets to court, you are tired.
Exactly.
By the time it gets to court, you've relocated. By the time the matter gets to court, there can be so many postponements, and in between, you just give up.
I need to ask you a question. Do you think South Africa, our country, is capable of that? Do you think we have the necessary resources, one? Do you think we can pull it off? And please, as you answer this question, take into consideration everything that is happening in this country. Think corruption, think like all things considered. Do you think that we can pull it off?
I honestly think we can pull it off. It's just that we need competent people in the offices, and we just need from the government. We do need intervention.
Now, while you on that, from like the government intervention, I think it was last year, the president did mention that they are putting into place an emergency action plan against gender-based violence. And then he mentioned it again with SONA. That was Feb. So I just want to know from the justice side, has this been implemented?
We haven't seen that.
Oh my God.
Aren't we always mentioning things? Aren't we
Because
always saying,
you know
stop
what?
this? Aren't we always? We are
Exactly.
we always saying this, we're saying this, but really what we are calling for is action. We
Yes,
need
yes.
action.
True
Because
that.
I remember that on that SONA, the president said they are sourcing about 1.6 billion for that structure, for that emergency action plan to be implemented, because the numbers of gender-based is increasing daily.
That is correct. It's said since the safe to mention since June, during the different levels of lockdown,
Yeah.
the gender-based violence
We
cases
skyrocketed.
is skyrocketed. It has increased so badly. But I can tell you, as you are saying, Doc, we need action.
We need action.
There is no action.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think because of our people cannot see action, they're giving up.
Exactly.
They are giving up. You
Yeah.
will have the courage to walk into the police station. You will be advised we can assist
But the
you.
dragging is just
Yes, the testing tests are not there. It's just difficult. The matter going to court is another
process.
process, is dragging on, and before the matter in court can be heard, you've been in court more than 10 times just to voice
that's
out.
just
Postpone the
much.
case.
And that
Postponing
is
the
just
case.
too much. Yeah.
It's just too much. By the time we get to hear your case is almost 2 years ago.
And I'll say lapho.
Oh,
And I'll say
Kathe.
lapho. You know.
And you need to move on. You need a closure.
Exactly. You need to move on. Wow.
Okay, Babugele Makaya, there you have it. I don't know. From my side, I feel our government needs to take charge. And also with us, we need to do something. Because at the end, we are the government, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got the cabinet, we've got the parliament, but I believe Tina as Abantu, we are the government. So yeah. But
They
now
need to
Babugele
take
Makaya,
charge, ne? Not
it's
chankura.
no.
Not chankura.
No.
They're busy chowing chankura
Yo wena.
instead of taking charge.
Okay, now we are joined by a second survivor,
Yes.
Imbokodo,
Imbogodo.
the
And
rock,
Wow.
Umamu Constant. Sawubona?
Yebo.
Unjani?
Ngiyaphila.
Relax. Yabona la.
You know, we speak
Sizoxoxa
freely,
la.
kumnandi.
Kumnandi, sizomunye umuntu. Yeah.
Mama Hazit, she's going to be telling us about gender-based violence from an office perspective, from the workplace.
Yes.
Mama, you know what? Please, feel free.
Khulume.
Ukhulume. Tell us, Uguti, what is your story?
Sanibonani babukeli emakhaya. Igama lami uConstance Mphahlele. I'm working for the government in Kempton Park. 2015, on the 27th October, I was at the work. I was working as a security guard then. At my workplace, one of the clients came to my workplace looking for my other boss. Then I took that person, I left that person in the reception. I went to my boss's office. When I arrived in my other boss's office, I found the big boss. The big boss comment on my bumps and say, I have big bumps, who's sleeping with me? I lay a charge to the police station. They say, because I'm working for police department, I must lay it at my workplace. Then I lay it on my workplace. It's like, immediately when I lay it in my workplace, it turned as if I'm the one who sexual harassment my boss.
Yeah.
They victimized me. They started not to talk to me, the ladies. And some of the ladies, I realized that I'm not the only one, but people, they cannot talk. I went through the psychologist and everything, and then later on, I tried to remember I was a junior, and then he's a senior. And then it dragged and dragged and dragged until 2017, when white men helped me at the workplace. They started to take it to consideration. Even our mayor, thank you to him, because he intervened. And then they suspended the man, and then he was fired. Although I suffered because I had to lose a car on top of that.
That's a worker.
Yes, as a worker. Then I started to realize, as a woman in my working place, speak out, because I'm not the only one. I know out there is women who are sacrificing just because they have a job. I didn't care whether I can lose a job or what. I come first. I'm there to work, not to be sexual harassment by any man. Yes. So I realized that, and that man, he also have girls in the house. How will he feel if they are doing the same thing to those children? And then I went through a lot, guys. I went through a lot, to the extent where I started to forget my child at school. When my child tried to talk to me and say, I have a homework, I keep on saying, you know what, my baby, mommy is going through a lot. I started to try to think of myself. The way I grew up, I said, you know what, my children, they don't deserve this. But it helped me a lot. And then knowing God in my life, it also helped me, because you know what, in God, it helps, especially when you pray. Thank you.
Wow, that is so touching.
It's so touching, it's so heartbreaking, because we're talking about the government department here. That her case happened in our government department, the big bosses. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just speechless right now.
Please, Mama, sorry, Gangani, just, you said you suffered, and you mentioned, Uguti, you lost your car, your relationship was affected with your child. Can you just tell us, like, more on ezinye izinto oye wandlula kuzona ku this long time? Because you said from 2015, this happened in 2015, and only in 2017,
It's about 2 to 3 years.
2 years,
Exactly what you were saying. With the
as he
delay can be
said,
years.
like, can you just tell us more?
Remember our sexual harassment by the big boss, ne?
Yes.
And I'm a junior, ne?
Yes.
So it means I'm nothing. Any office where I enter, I was becoming a stupid. Because even if I report this site, it was like I'm playing. Even the other lady is the boss there. It's when I started to realize that ladies, they do things in order to get promotion sometimes. He said to me, why you did not give her what he wanted? And I didn't understand what did he want, because me now was wearing a uniform, I was at work. And then I didn't understand, because remember, I apply like everybody else. I went through interview like everybody else. I deserve to be there because I passed my interview.
Wow. Attorney, please, Stanley.
It is sad and it is true what Umama is saying. When you are at the junior level
And you're a woman.
and you're a woman and you're experiencing such indecent act from the senior management, it is chances of you telling your story and your story being believable is almost to zero.
Yo.
You are doing this because you want a promotion. You are doing this because you want to be in another level. So it is true. Practically, I've went through many cases. As she was sitting here, and I was actually thinking, like,
Remember one.
I think I've done this case. I think I know her case.
Oh my.
And I was like, I think this is one of the cases that
Like,
that came on my table that I was exposed to. Because once you're a junior and against the management is almost too true to be told, and people at the workplace is always difficult for them to believe you. And thank you, Mama, for go tla go bolela and gore ke tlo bolela bophelo jwa ka bo tla pele gore ba ntshepa goba a ba ntshepe mara nnete mafelelong e tlo bonagala, and mafelelong go bonagala nnete ile a tswelela, and re lemoga gore o kgonne.
So mina ngifuna ukwazi nje mama. So we reportile case angithi, we reporter emsebenzini, wa reporter. So uthathe sonke lesikhathi. Wow. Ukuthi case yakho iziphumelele. Manje so right. Ugcina usebenza o uyekile emsebenzini oxoshiwe.
Mina ngiyasebenza, bamxoshile.
Yena.
And then yena khona manje uya appeal.
Appeal against the
The
verdict.
case uthi it's unfair dismissal. But ngine with
Please.
I'm glad he's here.
Yes. Sicela ukuthi
but
uzositshela.
and the matter, what I like about it, the matter didn't happen in his office. Remember, in the police department and police
They've got
sector,
different, yeah.
there is a protocol. If you are the big boss, he's my boss. I cannot come to your office. I must
Follow
go
rules.
via
Yes,
protocol.
yes.
So I was going to my boss, and then it
Yena.
happened to find him. No, to find him in my boss' office. So my boss it happened in front of my boss.
Of your boss.
Yes.
So if Oseko Kahle was supposed to be a witness.
He's my witness even now. He
Oh,
even
that's
told
good.
me that
That's
if
good.
I have to mention the name, if you call him, he will even say it.
Aye,
And then
then
what I
that-
like about it is is the member of the church,
Okay.
my boss.
So, Mr. Attorney.
Okay, wait. I need us to warm. Us rewind kancane. 1 minute. Sithi cha.
Okay.
Mama, you are mentioning in the police department. Are you saying this happened in the police department?
In my workplace, wearing uniform, in the office of my boss.
The very
The
department
government
we need to go
department.
to.
Yes.
During working hours.
During working hours.
hours.
I'm talking about the people who are supposed to
be
protecting
Yes.
us.
Like then who will protect us?
Only God, I believe only God will protect us, because our government
eh?
fail us, especially as women.
Sure.
We don't know where to
Where to
cry
go.
Because I went to the police station, they say it's internal. Then when I enter the office, some of the offices, they keep on saying, hey, me, I fight with this guy before. The person who sexual harassment me, he used to call herself municipality. He used to say, I'm the municipality here. As much as now he's appealing,
Misuse
he wants
Zing
my
power.
He even wants my term sheets now, but it's no longer working for municipality.
And I mean, if you are working there if you are working there and your own colleagues don't believe you, imagine how about any member of the community having to work in a police station to report such a case.
Sure.
You have to be at work, go through this trauma of seeing this perpetrator every day.
Every day.
And they appealing. So
Yes.
please, mhlawumbe omunye umuntu ekhaya ka understand ukuthi yini I-appeal, ne? I will please ask you to just unpack ukuthi umuntu azi ukuthi makuthiwa yes, if kuthiwa appeal kusho ukuthini.
What hurt the most? Ne? I was the one who've been sexual harassment, but the big boss, chief
Yeah.
of police, wrote a letter. Is there in my file?
Yeah.
And say they must move me in the working place so that they can investigate the matter. Then so that I felt as if I'm the one who sexual harassment my boss.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, please make me understand ukuthi kuyenzeka kanjani. Is it the correct procedure ukuthi bathi kuhambe yena ekubene yena a victim? Why ngahambi lo okuthiwa wenze into wrong?
As I've indicated earlier on, that when you're coming at the junior level against the senior management level, it is always difficult to believe you. They are saying you are doing this because you are after something. You are doing this because you're full of drama, you're an attention seeker, you want promotion. So it is almost so difficult for your own members, for your own colleagues to believe you. There's someone in the office next door who said, I've worked with Mr. So-and-so for so many years.
He has never done
He
this.
has never done this to me. What's so special about you?
About you. Wow.
I think
and
we're
they-
facing so much as women. We're facing so much challenges. It hurts me. I don't want to lie. It hurts me ukuthi ngizwe into efana kanjena because this is a department that is supposed to be protecting us. But she's been victimized khona lapha. Oh wow.
You know, I need to really say this. Kubabukela emakhaya ukuthi sexual harassment can be that little thing.
That
It
small
doesn't
comment.
have to go, yes, just one comment.
Yeah,
you
true.
know, just that little comment umuntu athi and again, I hear this a lot, you know, I hear this a lot. Oh, you know, those big lips, you know, if I
those
could just
beaut-
kiss those
eyes.
lips, oh my, I wonder who sleeps on those breasts. You know, it's those little comments.
That's harassment.
That's it. Mbugeli emakaya, that's it. You draw the line there. The day they comment on your body, your physique, whatever it is, ungayivumeli.
Ayivumeli.
Because uzosho namhlanje ukuthi oh mara uney'nyawo ezide.
Hey.
Kusasa athi yo mara le body. Kusasa athi
Ama
hayi
curves
man.
akho.
Exactly. And siyayivumela ngithi. So uyale. So that little one comment that they say. And I think it's sad also ukuthi it happens in the workplace. It happens in the church. Umama mentioned ukuthi iboss yakhe, you know, umuntu okhonzayo or osontayo. Like it happens in the church.
Yes.
It happens in the family.
Everywhere.
Akukho
Lapho
la
ngathi khona.
enga.
You remember the story, is it Uyinene? She was raped and killed. A police
post office.
Post office.
A post office.
Who would have thought? Ukuthi ngiyele post office and sengiyobulawa sengiyorapiwa khona.
Yeah,
So kahle kahle we're not safe anyway.
That's why earlier on I mentioned that women are afraid to walk during the day. Women are afraid to walk at night. Women are scared to be in a lift clubs. Women are scared to be in a public transport. Women are living in fear
So much.
in our own community. Women are losing their lives in the hands of people who are supposed to be protecting the very same women.
Yeah. Wow. Mama, we cannot thank you enough for coming and sharing and an example kwabanye, because we definitely know there are many women that are being sexually harassed by their superiors in the workplace. But as a Mama Shilo, because you know you are putting food on the table, you cannot afford to lose this job. You will keep quiet. Do not keep quiet.
Before Mama Hamba, I just want to ask for Yena, Gwena, Uti, right now, Uti, we are appealing.
Yeah.
So, Yena, Yina ngayenza, or is there something that angayenza umama? Or, yeah.
Sorry, before that, can we take a call?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Hello, you're live on GNF TV.
Hello, the guy.
Ritengu guy?
The life, ne?
Yes.
Get live here, GBV.
Okay. Yes.
I know her personally because she's a person specific.
Okay.
Because every time it's kind of receptioning, I will see her. I think maybe that's not even knowing for what she's going through. So I'm very sorry for my sister. People for sure, by the way. I think she knows me. She knows me. But especially for my brother, especially maybe we can report an officer to go maybe police station or the colleagues. Obviously, that's why the colleagues they will protect each other.
Yes.
And now, question about your advice: how do we, which channel do we follow report and check it? So if maybe our advice
Thank you so much for calling in, Bud.
Thank you, right?
Wow, thank you.
Wow. Oh, so do you want to
Wow.
say something about that? No.
Oh,
Sure.
wow. Yeah.
You wanted to hear or advice regarding the issue of the appeal.
Yes.
So when appeal is a right of the convicted person, or where the judgment has favored umama, then the other party on the other side has got a right to appeal the matter. And once one appeals the matter, we are saying the judgment that was given in favor of umama, it is incorrect.
Okay. So
No
basically,
evidence
we
ikhona.
deny kahle kahle
Yeah.
ukuthi uyenzile lento. That is why I appeal.
Yes. To say,
Nerves, eh?
Noma sibona ukuthi red, green,
No,
green.
no.
Mara athi, this is blue.
But I won't change my statement. The only
And
thing that will
ungashintsha.
written is not for me. Remember, it happened to me, ne? There is no way I can forget what happened to me, what he said to me. No matter they can try. Remember, it happened to me. It's not the essay. I was there live when it happened, so I don't mind.
And
No,
please,
I
Ukola said
admire-
something.
Oh, yeah.
Ukola had a question, and Utize, if what are the channels? That is what Ukola was asking. Please, can you just tackle that question? Uti, what are the channels?
as happened to umama, especially the caller had mentioned that it is difficult to report your colleague.
Yes.
So what the system has made is, regardless where the incident happened, you can actually not report. You've got the right not to report it at that center or at that police station. You can go to any other police station where you are unknown there and report it.
Okay.
And obviously, should they not take the matter forth, you can lodge a complaint against the IPIT.
So in this case of appeal, it's the justice side, not SAPS.
No, I think in this manner that Umam has explained is the decision. I'm not sure whether it has got to the criminal side or it was still internal hearing.
Maybe internal.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, so the dismissal was
It's internal.
internal. and then the person was dismissed internally. So I'm not sure as how far Umam has gone as far as the criminal side has gone.
Okay. Wow, Mina, I admire the courage ka mama.
I know, right?
I admire you. Angfut kamba mama, you being strong, you being so bold. Report boss yakho, it's something else. You remember, and we're talking about the police department here. I'm sure my friends, Department of Justice, maybe my friends somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, Nguti, if him reporter he's a big boss. Obviously, he's rubbing shoulders with the big people. Wow.
And he has money.
He has
He
money.
has money.
The case
And
can
you-
drag for
Exactly.
he can afford the most expensive attorney,
Yes.
advocate.
And
You know,
then
they
she's
say
just
money-
a security.
Yes.
And she's just a security. You know, in South Africa,
can
but
drag the
there's, in
matter.
fact, worldwide, there's nothing money can buy.
It's not supposed to be like
It's
that.
not. But
Justice delay, justice denied.
you said it. You said it.
So I think you ngamlinda after the show nithi khuluma nje kahle no advise akupha ama advice ukuthi uzoyenza kanjani yabo zonke lezo zinto. I'm sure uzosizakala somehow somewhere. Thank you so much. Siyabonga ukusijoyina. Yo.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you.
touched.
Please, ningakhohlwa babukeli emakhaya. We are live on GNF TV, Facebook, and YouTube, and the lines are open. Please call us on 012-023-0559. The number to call is 012-023-0559.
Yeah. They must share. This is very important.
Yes, please share,
the page.
share.
Share. Now, my friends and the family, just share. This is very important. This is very touching.
important.
It must help someone out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now our next Mbogoto, our next survivor. You know, I am really excited. Please, you know, you will see us, we are being extra. We have to be extra.
We have to.
We have to be extra by one victory, because that one victory means so much. And that is why we are so excited, Oguti. These survivors are here. And we will welcome her. Please, Nani Emakaya, welcome her today. Please, Swangile, introduce her.
Yes. Mabukela Makhaya, as Uzinhle just said, we are joined by another Mbogoto.
Yes.
Another rock, another queen is here.
Yay.
Sis Mahlatsi, welcome on the GBV. Exclusive talk show. It's exclusive.
It is exclusive.
Yeah? How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
You know, wow, we're seeing a young lady. And Ababugela Makaya probably thinking, okay, like, has she been around that long that she got to exactly? And please tell us your story. We are so eager to know, Guti, when's Agaleni and how did you survive?
Okay, ngiyabingelela babukele emakhaya. My name is Mahlatsi Mutupi, and yeah, I'm a survivor of gender-based violence. Yes, I'm experienced such emsebenzini.
Whoa.
Yes, this is back in Sasebenza in Middleburg. So,
Oh, my hometown.
your hometown.
It's not so
My hometown.
Yes, your hometown. So, okay, originally I'm from Emalasheni, and then yeah, and it so happened emsebenzini ukuthi I was abused. I reported the matter, but nothing was done. And it's not like the perpetrator bega deny allegations. No. Uvumile ukuthi lezinto azenzile uzenzile and uzongenzani.
Yo.
With that kind of an attitude.
Yo.
Uyabona?
I'm sorry, I need to take you a little bit back because you know abanye phela yazi asibambi sonke fast yabo. So ngifuna ukuthi nasimuva simuve sonke.
Kancane
Ne? Yeah, sithathe chunk by chunk. Please, if you do not mind, if you are comfortable, mawuthi abused. Can you try and elaborate ukuthi how were you abused? Yes.
Okay, I experienced intimidation, bullying, and sexual harassment.
Sure.
Yes. It started off mengisafika emsebenzini, like when I was still new. I thought it's okay, maybe this person is treating me otherwise because I'm still new. Yeah, well, because you find such people
Yes.
vele emsebenzini
Yeah.
whereby
Some
mawufika.
figures.
Yay.
Yes. So, okay, I ignored it. And then uzombingelela umuntu avele athule. Like, okay, no, maybe it's that thing ukuthi okay ngizomfikisa, that's bullying. Okay, it's fine. And then there was a point whereby wathela imoto ngamanzi angcolile.
Moti yakho.
Yes, my car.
Hayi
And
bo.
then I reported the matter. You know what they said? They were like, no, man, but keep in mind, but no, you know what, you can, ungathatha imoto umiyise car wash. Yeah, so no, it's not a big deal. Ithatha umiyise car wash. But mina, I'm saying it's not about ukuthi umiyise imoto car wash. My problem is I want you guys to reprimand this person because now
Yes.
he's violating me. And then he would make remarks are sexually inappropriate, you know. And then you'd say, Guti, this person is saying 1, 2, 3, and I do not feel comfortable, you know. Ngicela nikhulume naye. And then after I reported one time again, awalanda a sharp object. Why?
Moti yakho.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna get in again. Because remember, more than anything, what we want to achieve is ukuthi omunye umuntu naye akhona uku-identify ukuthi, oh my God, I'm actually in the same situation.
Yes.
So yes, so
This is what
mawuthi
we tolerate.
exactly. So mawuthi bekasho inappropriate words. Please, if you can recall some of the comments, because omunye umuntu may think, oh no, this is normal. But it's not normal.
It's not normal.
Please, can you just try and give us
Like,
a few,
oh,
ukuthi maybe begati,
Yeah, your body. Yeah,
Tell
like
ukuthi
this,
bekathini,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, like, your body, uganje, ganje, ganje. Or he would say, Guti, I think your partner enjoys inton. So it's inappropriate. You can't say such things, you know. And then when I reported, I remember Siago hearing, it was an internal hearing thing. Begune panel vele, and then there are males there, but there was a female. When I walked in, I was like, okay, there's a female.
Oh, there's a
Who would
female
Kunembokodo.
advocate for me, you know, but she never did. And instead, I was told, Guti, instead of having this person leave,
You lie.
that's the truth. They're like, yo, no.
Was he a senior?
Yeah, she was a senior. She was actually the CFO of the company
I
at that
get
time. So,
money.
So she's like, no, you know what?
You can't lose them. You rather lose you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
man. Like
hey?
when it seems like you're just in liability to the company, let's now we assets.
He's an asset
So
here
you know what?
We can't
We
lose
can't.
so much.
Because now what they do is that they would say to you, what did you do?
Hey.
What did you do? What did you say to him? And funny enough is like, okay, there was a point in time where he twisted my wrist. There was umuntu bekhona, like a witness to witness all that.
Yes.
So now you start ukuba nokuthi, okay, but I'm not safe. If this person can go, ukuthi athele imoto ngamanzi angcolile, ayihwaye,
Ayihwaye.
what more can he do? He can tamper with wheels wemoto and then you die. What's going to happen? Uyabona? So it was that kind of a situation, and then now uyaqala now but depressed. You start hating what you do.
You're not
And
looking forward to
you,
go to
you
work.
never look forward to going to work because of what you're going through. And they're thinking it's okay, maybe you're making up the stories, but they're asking him, "Ehleli Naila?" He's not denying anything. He's like, yeah, no. Yeah, he didn't deny it. And I was really shocked. It's okay, then there should be policies in place. Why are you guys not following policies?
Yes.
Like, you know what, if you want to leave and you're tired of working for us, then
You may just leave.
might as well just leave.
And what did you do?
I resigned. I was like, you know what,
I can't take
take
this.
this anymore. I have to resign, relocate, just go somewhere. I think Nami, it was gonna give let me heal, you know, because you in this environment, uhleli lapho, so
Awukho happy.
awukho happy. Even in the environment, okay, khona kusekhaya. I'm from Bank Sekhaya. It wasn't much of a distance. We get Middleburg every day, but I think it's time you left the place, meet new people, uzopola. It's ngathi, the journey you're healing is not easy, and feel like hostile, especially when around males, because you don't know what else uzokwenza Lord. Simply because you've experienced into embi from someone also this is supposed to be my brother. This is supposed to be someone who's protecting me. As a young girl, you are taught at a young age how to conduct yourself. You understand? But I think ukuthi, that is not applied with men. You know, you find girls go into ladies and then we grow into women. But with boys, they just grow into bigger boys.
Boys
You
will
know,
always
like
be boys.
so it's I'm sorry to say advocate, but it's I would say 99% of them is nezinto abazikhulumayo, like man, I think Nazi, we are missing it somewhere. I think we need to go back to the drawing board and try to re-educate them, teach them on how to conduct themselves. You know.
What she just said, it reminds me of you remember we had a men's conference not so long time ago here. And a young man who was there was asked, Guti, how do you feel about yonke lento? What's he? From where I am right now, I just want to remain a boy. What izinto ezenzakalayo zingenza ukuthi ngithi I don't want to be a man.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we
I
please
just
take a
take
caller?
You live on GNF TV, Sawubona. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Yebo mama njani? Siyaphila. Ungakhuluma mama siyakuzwa.
I think we may have lost her. I think we may have lost her. Yes, please, you were still telling us.
Yeah, I was just saying Guti, it is so sad.
Yeah.
Because even young men, they can see Guti, no, akukho right, akukho mnandi. Alright angibe umfana. Ngihlala kule stage, then Guti ngibe a man. Because abenzi kahle labantu towards women, abenzi kahle labantu. Abawenzi umsebenzi wabo as men. What's your take, Aten?
I feel like it's being attacked left, right, and center.
We're sorry, you are here.
You are the sacrificial lamb, namhlanje.
We've got to call her back.
Okay. Are you running away from the questions?
I'll give the answer before that.
You live on GNF TV. Hello. Sawubona. Angazi noma kangizwa. Sawubona mama, ungakhuluma siyakuzwa thina. I think it's network or something.
Yeah, some technical glitches.
Yeah.
Attorney, you cannot run away.
You can't.
No. I was going to say, I think it's the system that we are being raised into. As much as there's a greater need to protect and to educate the girl child, we cannot close an eye on the education of the boy child.
Ngicela siyiphinde. Just in case, ngicela uyiphinde. Lo okube yi-miss call, ungawari, we are calling you back. And ayidlulile, ungawari.
And it is the truth what he's saying, because more focus it's on us women, it's on us ladies. We're not forgetting yes ukuthi vele ipower ekuthina.
Yes, I think.
But we still need to look
Yes,
on the other side.
I think we also need to look on the other side. We need to teach, we need to teach girls how a man should treat you, and in the very same breath, we need to teach a boy child how to treat a girl child. And in most cases, I think we have deviated or closed an eye on educating the boy child as who is a girl child. How does you as a boy treat a girl child?
And now I wanna ask.
And then now we are later in the years and he is married, and only then you realize that how do I treat this wife of mine? And the wife picks up a phone and calls the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law will respond and say, "They're boys, let him be a boy." Because we've never been in a position to learn that boy child how to treat a girl
Sibongile,
child.
do you agree? You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring back what Usesi said and what Stanley is saying. The women are also failing us.
I agree.
The women are also failing
I
us. The
like,
ones you
agree.
think will stand in solidarity with you are the ones that put you down. Mawuti, you are raising a flag. They are the very first ones to say, no,
Uyena.
don't do that.
No, uyena.
Mawuya mother-in-law, uyoti,
Correct.
uyangshaya, wenzeni. It's never ukuthi, no, they ask, what did you do? Wenzeni ukuthi umprovoke?
Ufike ebusuku, let him be a boy. Boys do that. All men do that.
Which is wrong.
Which is completely wrong. We cannot tolerate it.
We cannot tolerate it. And then they also sometimes blame it on substances. Can we just discuss that?
I always say when it comes to substances, there are lines that I use to say alcohol, for an instance, does not abuse. Alcohol does not know how to abuse.
Yeah.
It is the alcohol, it is the act of the person which knows how to abuse.
Aina sandli alcohol.
Alcohol,
Aina
liver-
spami alcohol.
yes.
Alcohol cannot rape you.
Yes. But the act of the individual can rape you, can abuse you.
Sure.
Okay. So I just want to find out from you, Ateni, Awuti, what are the faces of perpetrators? Because it can be uthi bekuyi-CEO yakhe, i-boss yakhe. So, yeah.
Hence, I've indicated earlier on that sometimes, especially when gender-based violence happen in the workplace, it's always better not to report around the workplace where you are stationed or you are working. Always try to walk away and report the matter elsewhere. And the other thing that the victims might have a limited knowledge on is Sister Mahlatsi might, I'm not sure, she might have not proceeded on a criminal matter, but proceeded on a civil matter, which only ended at the workplace. And at the workplace, she might not have found justice because these are her colleagues. But if the system here at the workplace is failing me, will another system away from work fail me? So you can actually have two matters running concurrently, having it an internal hearing and having it a criminal matter. And the results might be different.
Sure.
Yeah.
We need to call in the representative from the SAPS. And while Uswangile is still busy with that, back on the faces of a perpetrator, please do correct me if I'm wrong. They come wearing suits. Ne? They come wearing uniform. They can be in that doctor's jacket. They can be wearing that regalia. You call it a regalia, ne? That regalia, you know. They can be wearing, help me. I'm trying to think from the top of my head. They can be, as I said, wearing uniform, be it SAPS, be it traffic department. Oh my goodness, they could be a pastor. They
From
could,
GNF.
wow. So they've got many faces.
Live now because we live. We just want to ask some question about the gender base. Is it fine? Are you
If
right?
they can come in a different uniform,
Wow. Okay, we have.
Unjani, but David. Siyaphila, you are live on GNF TV, right? Yes, uyakhumbula ukuthi ngeke ngakutshela ukuthi we were having a talk show on gender-based violence. Yes, so we want to find out from the South African Police Services what are the procedures that we need to follow regarding gender-based violence.
Oh, okay. It's a program now with South African Police Service. It says I film against gender-based violence. Apparently, it's a domestic violence. And then it happens like this. Umuntu is a station say to like Sindiza victim.
Yes.
And then our victim should be treated with respect. That's point number one.
Yes.
And then the victim should be assisted at the victim-friendly room. Ngamanye amagama sibiza ukuthi kuse statement taking room. Lapho sizothatha khona statement sakho ukuthi kwenzekeni. And then i-victim yethu uma sithola ukuthi kumele vele sivule case against umuntu lo amhlukumezile. Sizovula case and then izoba ne-case number. Manje case number then bazomsendela ku SMS yakhe. Ahlala kulindele lokho then uzoba ne-investigating officer le azoqhumana nayo. Should umuntu ube washajwa mhlambe unama-bruises or ushajwe nga-something esilimaza esikhulukazi simreferela kuma-medical examination phecelezi ama-healthcare facilities wethu la sinawo duzane like komasakhane 18 sibathumela khona nge-J88. So enye into futhi kumele sibaprovide nge-feedback ukuthi uma sesivulile case waya phezulu wayo kudoctor wamcwaninga wasitshela udoctor ukuthi kumele senze icase ethile nesisindo esinganani. Kumele simnikeze feedback ukuthi ihamba kuphi case yakhe. And then again kumele ukuthi axhumane ne-investigating officer yakhe ngaso sonke isikhathi bakhulumisane. And again siyacela ukuthi abantu mabasondele bazositshela ukuthi bahlangabezana nani ngoba abantu abaningi bayahlukumezeka. Sine-gender-based violence lena sibita ukuthi i-6.triple plan lesisebenzisayo thina as South African Police Services ukuthi abantu into bayenzayo mhlawumbe ufuna ukuremena anonymous angakwazi ukuthi aripothele umakhelwane wakhe ukuthi umakhelwane wami uyahlukumezeka then yena ngenxa yokuthi uthi uyamthanda umuntu wakhe akafuni ukumvulela icase so siyakwazi ukuthi nathi si-acte khona lapho. So abantu bangaza e-police station bazobona nomuntu obhizi ngama-case domestic violence phecelezi gender-based violence. And ngi-understand ukuthi lena inyanga yabomama. Bomama bangasabi ukuthi beze e-police station bazoshela kabanzi ukuthi kwenzakalani. Ngesinye isikhathi mhlampe abafuni ukuvula i-docket but kunendlela la ama-social worker akwazi ukungenelela asebenzisane nabomama ukuthi babatshele ukuthi uma ifike kule ndlela le kumele ayenze kanjani.
Okay. All right, before uhambe, we've got questions. My first question, Uguti, normally, how long does it take a procedure? Let's say you police station, you report a case, right? And as man figure with police officer, uthatha statement. Kuthatha isikhathi singana ukuthi ningiphe investigation officer.
Okay, investigation yona yiyo ngathi iyaprolonga kancane ngoba uma ufika e-police station uzovula case, right?
Yes.
Then bazobisa ku-statement taking room. It will take plus minus like 45 minutes ukuvula le case lo ngoba sinamanye ama-document ekumele siwagcwalise siwabiza ukuthi domestic violence registers. Yiwo lawa angathatha isikhashana ngoba sikubuza ngomuntu ukuthi umuntu onjani, uyaqala ukukushaya, akaqala ukukushaya, how many times uyakushaya, into ezinjani. So siyakwazi ukudetermine ukuthi usengozini or awukho engozini. Should you need indawo yokuhlala kuyo and then siku-arrangele yona ukuthi ukwazi ukuhlala ube safe la uhlala khona. So investigation can take plus minus 2-3 weeks. So bayenza investigation yokuthi umuntu akwazi ukuprosecutiwa umuntu i-suspect sithole say arrest. It can take plus minus 2-3 weeks.
Wow. Mr. David, I have to ask you this. You just told us, ukuthi ke na, when you come and you report a case, you need to have a private room and you need to be respected. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, kancane.
Okay. So umbuzo wami uthi njoba bowushilo ukuthi if umuntu eza report something, you must have a private room, you must be respected. I'm going to call it the textbook definition. Because more than anything we find ukuthi that is not the case. Other victims out there bazoti yo police station lo mama beka snacks. Lo mama beka ngithethisa.
Angifakuzwa ngizwela phansi.
Please
Okay.
reiterate.
Yeah, come again, ngathi ngiyakuzwa manje.
Okay, uthi usisi most of the time ama victim mayifika police station azo report a case. It's not always lento ishoyo wena ukuthi bayathathwa bayiswe private room. Immediately mayifika lapha uzothi ipolice bi snacks kumina, or maybe athi the first question from what I've heard ukuthi mayifika bezo report, the first question ithi ubukade ugqokeni.
Hey.
I mean really.
But uthi bakwenzeni, and then you need to shout. Obviously you don't want to say
And you don't want to shout like angithi like a police station kuba nale desk lezi, the service desk, I don't know ukuthi nibiza ini. Yes.
Bathi khulumela phezulu.
Bathi khulumela phezulu. Obviously angeke ngikwazi ukukhulumela phezulu ngalento le because ngishaya nginamahloni ngayo. So is it always a case vele ukuthi niyamthatha nimise private room?
Yeah, kahle professionally kumele ukuthi umuntu uma afika umbone ukuthi lo muntu lona ngathi akekho right, then interview ngendlela efanele ngoba unfortunately vele sinabo labantu ukuthi mhlawumbe abatreat abantu bethu ngendlela efanele. So but uma thola umuntu right yena kumele bamise in a private room whereby uyam-interview umuntu then uthole story. Like myself as a male, sometimes kunezinye izinto like i-case rape, I'm not allowed ukuthi ngingayivula uma ngathi into eziningi, but kumele ngibize umuntu ofana njengaye oyifemale azokwazi ukumchazela kabanzi ukuthi kwenzekani. Nayo le domestic violence, gender based violence iyaye ifike khona lapho ukuthi kumele umuntu njoba ngishele ngithi all victims should be treated with respect. Respect icala ukuthi umuntu masangena then welcome ukwazi ukumbona ukuthi abantu noma laba police station, abantu beze police station babazodinga uncedo. So kumele njengawo usebenza ukwazi ukuthi wenze umsebenzi wakho ngendlela efanele, then ukwazi ukumsiza ngendlela efanele. Abantu bangasabi ukuza police station. Should umuntu lo angafuni ukukusiza une-right ukuthi ungamreporta kusenior yakhe, then bazoyithatha vele ngoba nawe uze lapho unenkinga.
Yeah. Okay, yo siyabonga kakhulu. Do you have a specific number yase SAPS? Let's say someone udinga usizo immediately.
You said you have a specific number?
Yes. For report, let's say ufuna usizo umuntu. Ikhona number onayo ungasipha yona upha abalaleli ababukeli bethu.
Normally singasebenzisa i-10-111 i-SAPS yona leyo. It goes direct to kuma-control rooms wethu which are based in Emigrant. Then bazo-escalator bayilethe ngapho ngoba umuntu uzobanikeza i-address la akhona khona, then thina sisebenza ngama-sector, sesiyazi ukuthi sidivayidile ukuthi imoto enje isebenza ku-sector bani, then leyo particular vehicle is supposed to go and attend. Or if umuntu angenamali kumele adayile i-112, it's free mahala. Then kune-emergency ambulance, kune-police, then umuntu kumele press option 2 for police assistance. From lapho ucontrol uzombuza ukuthi ukuphi nendawo, then uzosho ukuthi ngisendaweni enjena, amnikeze address efanele, then uzokwazi ukuthi imoto ifike kuye bayidispatche ifike kuye, then simple like that they attend your complaint.
Wow, thank you so much Budwami for ukuthatha isikhathi sakho and uzosiza ngapha. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Bongani mama.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
And I believe we'll be going on to the NGO hotline.
No, they were supposed to be on Zoom.
Okay. All right. Yo, it has been a
Or we can phone
hectic,
them. Is it fine?
hectic. And I say hectic because it's just been a very heavy topic. But
Or sibafonele.
I believe we did justice, and yes, we're going to call again the NGO, and they'll be telling us more about what they do. And please, Babugele Makaya, you can still call. We have a few minutes left before Sivalelisa Sihamba, so just grab this opportunity and call us and communicate with us. And I'm going to come back to you, Stanley. In her case, she decided to resign and leave. What other options were there? Say she wanted to stay or she had to stay, but definitely not in that hostile and abusive environment. What other options were there?
I'm not sure if the size, how big the company was. You could, during the internal hearing, request that you be moved to another office, or that no, I'm still going to stay here, but I request that my senior be moved to another office. I'm not sure what the situation at that point was, and I think in most cases, because people, they don't want to be exposed to what has been happening, the system in the company is failing them, and I'll see my thoughts will just decide to say, I rather put myself first and walk out. This is not the end. I'll get another job. I will use the same answer that I normally advise people who are in domestic violence situations at home to say, it's never too late. You can walk out of this marriage. Our women, our sisters, our mothers, they want to stay because they are of the view that I'm not the wrong person here. He is. If he wants to leave me, let him be the one to leave. But you need to be able to put yourself first. You need to be able to think for your children. You need to be able to think for your life and say, beside this marriage, there's life. Beyond this marriage, there's my life. I can walk out, I can leave.
Wow.
It's
That was
never
beautiful.
too late.
Yeah.
That was
hey.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
A message of hope.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
and
you.
for sharing your knowledge and your information. We thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sis Mahlat, for sharing your story with us. Eh?
Thank you so much, because then now it's healing.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
when you share your story with someone, then khona umuntu ozothi, you know, oh well, i-abuse ayenzekeli abantu abadala kuphela. So coming through as a youngster and saying, you know what, even in the workplace, because you don't know such from home, but you udibana nako emsebenzini, and then you're like, okay, if I get to advocate for those who can't speak for themselves, then let it be. It's fine. Ngizohamba ngikhulume, share my side of the story, and then someone lapha ekhaya uzowazi ukuthi, okay, no, I'm not alone.
Exactly. Sisavala, in closure, as we're wrapping it up, we can keep the conversations going online. I would like to ask the two of you, just give us 2 points in closure. One, as a form of awareness, as a form of appealing to the community at large. But I need you to do it twofold. One, address directly the men out there. And then two, address the community at large, be it the neighbor, the friend, the sister. Please just give us 2 points, and then our attorney will give us his 2 points.
2 points with regards to
Awareness. Just say a word to the men out there. If you, like right now, you can talk to them, what would you want to say to the men at large?
at large.
Yes.
Because, okay, I would say personally, when you dig and try to find out what could have been the root cause of how they treat us, you find Uguti, but he grew up without abazali. That's why he's treating women the way he treats women. Or okay, no, ukhulele estradini. You know, those are the excuses they give. You understand? And it shouldn't be like that. You know, they should stop killing us. They should stop abusing us.
I love it.
You know,
Stop killing us.
yes.
She says to the men out there,
Stop it.
I will say it on your behalf, stop. Boldly, stop killing us. And to the community at large, the one that can see this thing happening, the ones in the sidelines.
The sidelines. You know what? I feel Guti. If you feel Guti kwamaki, there's something wrong going
Yes.
on, please report it.
Thank you.
Ungathi, okay, bazothi ngene indaba zabantu, kwatheni. No, just report it.
Report it.
And also, I think we should now also shift focus on our boy children. You know, abantwana babafana. Let's try to teach them on how to treat girls. Like, teach them how to conduct themselves. I think we've done so much on amantombazana. You know,
girl
with amantombazana, you know, you need to
You have
project yourself
behave
a
like
certain
this,
manner to for you. But see, ilady ali hlafuni kanje. You know,
Ahlali kanje
ilady
ilady,
ahlali kanje,
yes.
you know. But then what about the boy? Like, let's go back to chivalry. Let's teach them. ukuthi this is how we do things. And then I think maybe it's not saying the lendlela, but yeah,
We'll
We'll
get there.
get there.
there's hope.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stanley?
I think everyone is equal
Yes.
before the law. No one is above the law. If you are the perpetrator, the law should take its course, and regardless of the uniform that you are wearing, regardless of the rank that you are holding, regardless of you being the breadwinner, the law will take its own course. Let's stop killing our women. Let's stop killing our girls. Let's stop killing our sisters. And the Constitution is very clear. Everyone has a right to life. Our sisters, our mothers, it is never too late. There's always an option to live, where, being at workplace, being it at home, there is always an option. It's never too late. Our community at large, let's voice out our voice. Let's care for our neighbors. Let's care for our sisters. Let's care for our mothers. We are a community where when you raise a man, that man or that woman walks around and say, umama, we were raised in a manner that we are to respect every person regardless of their gender. Umama kazbanban, usisi. So let's use the very same voice when we respect usisi wase next door, umama wase next door, auntie wakabanban, so that we do not harm our women.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Viewers at home, I don't know what to say, but I pray and I hope this show has served its purpose. Because the purpose was city, yes, this thing is here, but especially for us women, let us stand together. Let us voice out ukuthi kwenzakala lokhu kimi. Usisimahlathi ushilo wathi ukuthi ngisharile ngiyahileka. Nokuthi I've shared my story, someone is getting help. I mean, I believe in women. People sometimes they call me a feminist, they call me a sexist, but it's not like that. It's because I believe in women. I love and I believe in women. Ladies, let's collaborate. Let's stand together. Let's support each other. Inyanga yabo mama le. This is the time that we stand as women. This is the time that we women stand bold. Sithi no, uno.
Yes.
It ends here.
Yes.
Let's stop this. Zinhle, before we just close, I just want the men out there to make a pledge. I want Mr. Attorney, I'm glad you're here. You're going to stand for the men. I want every man, viewers at home, if you're watching, make this pledge. You're going to follow after me. Must pledge, and it's we raise our, is it left or right?
Right.
the right-hand side.
Yeah.
We're going to pledge and we're going to say, especially to men, this is a pledge for men.
Yeah.
No woman shall die in my name.
No.
No woman shall die in my name. No child shall die on my name.
No child shall die on my name.
We say no to violence
We say no to violence
and we pledge.
and peace.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Babugele
That was
Makaya.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
beautiful.
hey.
That was
I
beautiful.
believe we can. I believe we will. And I believe we shall overcome this. I believe we will overcome this violence.
Definitely.
From me, Zinhle, it has been an absolute pleasure co-hosting with you.
Oh, thank you
and
so
happy
much.
Women's Day to everyone out there.
Yes, siyabonga kakhulu. My final words, I actually want to read to you a quote by the late President Utata Nelson Mandela. He said these words, that freedom cannot be achieved unless women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. And regrettably so, we are still fighting that same fight. It is yet but hope. Hope that this will happen in the ideal South Africa. And as we continue fighting, I need you to remember, she is your sister. She is your mother. She is your daughter. Silence is not an option. And we say no to gender-based violence. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi nihlanganyele kanye nathi. Siyabonga futhi our panel that came. We had the doctor earlier. We have our attorney here. And our survivors.
It was beautiful.
And definitely our co-host. She is amazing. It was amazing. It was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you
so much. And siyabonga ukuthi it happened.
Yes, and please, viewers, do stay tuned for the Esther Show every Thursday. Stay tuned. We've got beautiful topics that we'll be discussing, especially kuyinyanga yabantu besifazane, kuyinyanga yomama. There's so much that we're going to be unpacking kwa Esther. Stay tuned. You know women, you know queens. We were raised and born for such a time as this.
For such a time as this. Kanti-ke nathi from Holistic Healthy Living, we are looking forward to having you again this week. We will be talking about infertility. Please join us. Siyabonga kakhulu, and also to the Bishop of this house for giving us this opportunity ukuthi sifike kunina, ukuthi sikhulume kanye nani and teach you more and converse more about gender-based violence. Thank you very much. Ayikabene.
Yes,
We
happy
love you
Women's
all.
Day.
Happy Women's Day. Siyabonga. Wow.
Nice, eh?
It was beautiful.
Thank you so much.